Greetings and welcome today, my friends, to my video tutorial for March as you grow, and this is layout 1. So what I want to talk to you about for this layout is only two things. I want to talk to you about how I created this score line here, and then how to assemble a dandelion. Okay, pretty simple. It's 4 pieces all together, 2 green pieces, 2 short red pieces. All right, so first of all, I'm just going to set the dandelion aside, set the layout aside, and I'm going to bring in a trimmer, and I've got a piece of red cardstock so you can see better. Okay, and I'm going to use my bone folder for this. Okay, you can also use a scoring tool. And where's my scoring tool? Not here. There it is. I can't reach it though. Just hang on a minute. It's far away. Sorry. Okay, this is a scoring tool. All right, if you have flower shaping tools, they're the same. It's just that they have a smaller end on them. Or if you have not a machine, sorry. If you have a scoring board, all right, they look like this. Okay, so actually I'm going to hang on to that because I'll do one like that. So you can see how it works with both of them. Okay, so in your directions, you're going to see that I'm asking for a 1/2 inch border. So I'm going to line up my paper just like I do when I'm trimming. I'm going to move my blade all the way down to the bottom so that it's completely out of the way. All right, and I'm going to do my first pass with, or my first line with my bone folder. All right, and I want to turn it so that I can see where 1/2 inch is, because I want to start at the 1/2 inch mark. Okay, and I'm going to just bring this in so you can see more closely. Okay, so I'm starting at the 1/2 inch mark, which is right there. Okay, and then I'm going to just put my bone folder down in the track where it usually cuts, and I'm going to give it some pressure, not huge. All right, you want enough that you're going to put a score in the paper, but not enough that you rip the paper. Okay, and the cool thing is you can lift this up and look at it. All right, so I've gone all the way down to the bottom here, to the 1/2 inch mark here. I'm going to lift this up, holding the paper down, and I'm looking at this score line. Oops, I didn't move it a bit. Okay, and I think I need to put more pressure down. I was being very babyish about it. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat that process, starting at the 1/2 inch mark here. I'm going to put a little bit more pressure, but still not so much that I'm going to rip the paper, and I'm just going down the line using my guide here to hold my bone folder in place down to the 1/2 inch mark there. And then I'm just going to go back up one more time just to make sure I have a nice line. Okay. So now you can see that I've got my line here. Okay. Oh, and the thing I forgot to mention that's very, very important. So just backtrack, rewind. Okay, is the side that is going to be up in your layout. So that would be the mint light side, needs to go down on the paper trimmer. All right, so that when you're done, you have the mountain on the good side of the paper that you're going to be using. All right, so I'm going to put my paper back now. This time I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to line it up against the 1/2 inch mark. It's harder to see at this angle. Put my guide back down. All right, and I'm going to use this time. So I'm going to use my scoring tool, and I'm going to use the bigger end of it. All right, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to put it up against the guide so that I'm in the track where the blade usually cuts. And I'm going to put gentle pressure till I know how hard I need to push, till I get to 1/2 inch from the edge. All right, and I'm just going to go over it a couple of times. I just want to make sure I have good pressure. Okay. Okay, and there's my second score line. Now here, they may not, or they might meet perfectly, and that doesn't matter. All right, nobody's going to notice that. All right, so if I turn it over, I can see that I've got two nice, really clear ridges. All right, and then I'm just going to turn my page again, move it up to the 1/2 inch mark, and I might have gone a little bit too far on that last line. Sorry, got the morning throat. Okay, and then I'm going to start again. I'm just repeating the process, and I'm going to just keep repeating that process all the way around the page. All right. And oh, I made that one a little bigger than 1/2 inch. It's kind of hard to see the lines at the same. But that's okay, because mine is just a sample and you're not going to mess yours up. I know you're not. Okay, at 1/2 inch again, starting at the 1/2 inch again, all the way down. And so now you can see, because we're on the last side, the 4th side, you can see where your first score line is, and you just want to meet that. All right, and I did not score that nearly enough. That's okay. Don't need to worry about it. I've already done mine. Okay. So now we have our scoring done. We're going to turn it over to the good side. This is the side that you want to have up in your project. Okay. And you can see we've got our nice ridges here. Okay. And so now what you're going to do is, and of course I always have to forget something. And today it's my sanding block. So just hang on. Whoops. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right. Now when I'm sanding this, here's my sanding block. This is going to be much more pronounced because I've used a darker color than you have, but I wanted you to really see what happens here. So I'm just going to take one. I just need to find an edge. Okay, so this edge is a good one here. Okay, and good because it's just got a gentle, very fine sanding grit on it. Okay, and I'm just going to start sanding very gently, staying close to the line. You know you're going to move, you're going to go over the line in some cases, doesn't matter. Okay, and what you're working towards is seeing the white core of the paper. Now, how much of the white core you see is entirely up to you. All right, so I would stop there because it looks very subtle now. You could keep going if you wanted. And I'm turning my sander just because the red fibers from the paper build up on the sanding paper. Okay, and this is what I mean here. Now you can clean this off, all right, later on. But for now, I'm just going to keep moving it around. Okay, so here it is. Okay, much more bold. Now, how much you do is up to you. So just going to go all the way around all 4 sides and do exactly the same thing. And then what you're going to end up with, okay, is this. All right, so pretty. It makes a beautiful frame. All right, it adds a little bit of depth to your plain cardstock, just like the white gloss spray does. Okay, which I'm not talking about in this video because I know you know how to do that already. Okay, so that is that. I have talked about how to get this nice frame around your cardstock. So the last thing for this layout I want to talk about is how to create the dandelions. All right, So we're just going to zoom in here so you can see better what I'm doing. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to bring my dandelion in. Okay, now for this, you're going to need, well, it's better, I think, you can see better what you're doing if you use tweezers. And I prefer to use a liquid glue of some type. Okay, I'm going to continue to use my white Tombow just because it's such a nice multi-purpose glue. It works great. Okay, so you have to do two things. All right, one, you have to attach this extra leaf to the main stem, and then you have to attach the top layer of the dandelion to the bottom layer of the dandelion. So the bottom layer should be on the light side. Just double checking. And the top layer should be on the dark side. Okay, and what we're after is that. Okay, and that light is very bright on that. I'll just bring it up a little closer. Oops. That's better. That's what you're looking for. Let the camera zoom in on that. See better. It's not very happy today with that zoom, is it? All right. Now we get back into the bright light. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the top layer of this, and I'm going to make sure I'm on the light side. I'm going to add just a dollop, a very small dollop of glue. I'm just going to pick this up because I want you to be able to see how very little glue I use. All right, that's not very much. Okay, and I'm going to make sure I have the dark side up. And it doesn't really matter which direction you put this piece. Okay, and I'm just going to tap it down. Okay, and that piece is ready. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my dandelion stem and my extra leaf. Okay, you want the extra leaf to go on this side, just like that. There's no real right or wrong way to add it. Okay, and for this one, I'm going to just add just a dab at the very base. Okay, not much glue at all. They don't need a lot. Okay, they're very small, light pieces. Okay, and I'm just going to attach it at the bottom, slide it out until it's at the angle I want it to be at. Okay, and then that piece is done. Okay, so now we get to assemble the two. And for that, I'm going to just add a little dab of glue right there, maybe a little bit more. And then you can place this however you want it. And it doesn't really matter. There is no real right or wrong way to put it on either, as with the leaf. There's really no up or down. You can put it whatever way you like. All right, and that's it. There's your dandelion. So you're going to do that 3 more times. You've got 2 little ones, 2 big ones, and those are going to go together on the bottom of your layout. And how I did it was I started with my bigger one and I put it in about 1 inch, and I used the mint as my lower edge, something for the dandelion to rest on. And then I placed the smaller dandelion, okay, right on top of that so that they touch at the base, and I just angled them away from each other a little bit. All right, and then I did exactly the same thing, but in reverse on this side. Okay, I started with the bigger one. Okay, and that one I put a little closer in to the edge, but it's up to you how you want to do that one. All right, that's it. That's it. That's all. This is a very quick and easy layout to do. Good way to start yourself off. And you can stay tuned for the video tutorial for layout 2 coming soon.